Hey everyone, Harith Iskander here. What's going on, Malaysia? I've got an opinion that I would like to share with you. Now, recently I uploaded a video onto TikTok of myself and my 8-year-old daughter doing a little dance, and I thought it was cute, and a lot of people thought it was cute, and they said so in the comment section. However, this is Malaysia. There was a whole separate conversation that started up around what my daughter was wearing. She was wearing a little crop top tank top with a little unicorn on the front which showed her midriff, and then a whole bunch of people went on and on about how she should tutup aurat. Now, just a reminder, she's 8 years old. I am not going to get into a theological or a religious argument about what my 8-year-old daughter should or should not be wearing. I will leave that all up to the people who seem to know better, or at least think they know better. You know who I'm talking about. What I do want to address is this deep need by certain members of the community who feel they must tell others what to do, how to act, and what an 8-year-old girl should or should not be wearing. They call this tegur, or in other words, to advise. They're just advising. Now, in all the comments that were doing this, I feel there's this one comment that encapsulates what I'm talking about. When some people commented things like, kenapa awak kisah, kenapa jaga tepi kain orang lain? This individual responded by saying, fellow Muslims supposed to tegur fellow Muslims, because if they're not, or if they don't, then it's a sin for them not to. So the sin falls upon that person who is not tegur. This person is actually concerned that they might have sinned by not teguring. So we see the true intention here. Now, once again, I am not an expert on this issue, but I do have friends who are pretty knowledgeable. And I spoke to one of these friends, and he gave me this interpretation. He said, yes, it's good to tegur, but there are degrees to teguring. Now, in priority, your own family and friends. Number 2, your workplace and community. And number 3, well, basically, everyone else. However, category 1 and 2 needs to be done one-on-one, in person, out of the public eye. Meaning, you give advice to them personally, and you don't just blab it out in front of everybody. Tutup aib orang. You may have heard this phrase before. And number 3, where you can tegur everyone, is basically when you're a learned preacher, or that is in fact your vocation and your job, and therefore you have the right to tegur everyone. And more importantly, you don't sin if you don't tegur. Now, once again, this is only an interpretation said to me by a friend of mine. Do it one-on-one, privately, not publicly. Now, wait a minute, I understand. Some of you are saying, but Harith, you're a public figure, lagipun you put it up on TikTok, you need to be open to accept all this teguring from the public. Well, yes, of course I am a public person, but you know as well as I do, this holier-than-thou teguring doesn't just happen to public people. It's happening on a daily basis. Everyone is going around telling each other what to do, what to wear, how to act, right? It's not just to public figures. At the end of the day, here's what I think. People who feel they need to tegur do it because, well, basically they think they're better than others. Now, when you think you're better than others, nothing really wrong with that. But if your life happens to be empty at the same time, then you need to fill it up with some meaning. You need to make yourself feel better. And what better way to make yourself feel than by telling others that they are not as good as you? However, if your life was full of meaning, you wouldn't really feel the need to have to do this. Know what I mean? Now, recently there was a clip of a guy riding a motorcycle, and he had a little girl sitting in the basket in front of him, and he popped a wheelie. He did a little wheelie. And was what that guy doing, was it wrong? Yeah, I would think so. Was it dangerous? Yeah. Did it endanger the little girl? Hell yeah. Would I tegur him? I might, if I met him or if I saw him, but I wouldn't tegur him because it would make me feel that I was wrong not to tegur him. I would tegur him because I would think, you're putting that little girl in danger, and I'm concerned for that little girl. Don't really care what happens to you. And more importantly, it wouldn't make me feel better because I was feeling bad before that I had tegured him. I would just feel that's the right thing to do for that little girl. Don't put her in danger. I'm not going to tegur you just because. You know why? Because I feel good about myself already. By not teguring him, it's not like I'm going to make myself feel better or worse. I'm all right. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it's just my opinion once again. If you don't really understand that this is just an opinion, what am I going to do? I guess I'm just going to have to face a lot of teguring in the comment section. Go ahead, hit me with your best shot. I'm Harith Iskandar.